Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. I know it's not Halloween. Alright, that's long past. But when it came to my Halloween videos, I ran out of time and I couldn't upload everything I wanted to. So that's why I'm uploading them past Halloween. But if you stop and look at it like this, at some point in time, it's gonna be Halloween time again, October. So somebody eventually will stumble upon my videos and watch it around Halloween time. So yeah, and I'm here today to talk to you about X, the 2022 movie. So this was an interesting movie. Boy, I was not expecting this. So anyways, yeah, I was not expecting all of this. So this is an A24 movie, and I have no idea who they are. But the only reason why I watched this movie, not because it's a slasher, because I don't watch every slasher that's out there, because some are good, some are not, but because Jenna Ortega's in this movie, and I'm a huge Jenna Ortega fan. And I knew she did this, I think, before Scream 5, I think it was, or after, or something like that. And I remember, she was trying to, shed her Disney image like many other former Disney people. And so I never knew what the heck this movie was about. I never read it on Wikipedia. I don't even know if I saw a trailer, but then at some point in time, I saw that they were making more movies. They made a prequel called Pearl, and now they're making the sequel called Maxine. And so, when I saw the leading lady of this movie, Mia Goth, I'm like, man, I've never seen her before. So she looked really interesting. So I started researching the movie, but I started skimming through the material. And so I never really read what the thing's about. Boy. What? Ty made an interesting movie. I think it's Ty West, I believe his name is. This dude made an interesting slasher movie. And I mean, it is an interesting slasher movie. That's all I can say. It is literally torture porn, in my opinion. And stuff. But you know what? It's a true classic old school slasher movie. There's no costume. There's no real motive, really. And it's just a person going around massacring people. And it's just killing them left and right. But the people who are killing them is weird because it's an old couple. I didn't see that coming at all. And I mean at all. And so this is what's known as a psycho-biddy movie and stuff. So it's old school and everything. I will say, when this movie started, it says it's in Texas, but I'm looking around. I'm like, this doesn't look like Texas to me. It looks like something else. And then so when I seen the sheriff played by James Gailey, is it Gailey? I think his name is. I recognized him. Okay, he's an American. He's born in America, but sometime in his adult age, he moved to New Zealand to pursue a career in music, and then later went into acting. I've seen him in Xena. I've seen him in Power Rangers, Ash vs. Evil Dead, Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior, and Legend of the Seeker. So he's a New Zealand actor, but he's an American. So I'm all like, well, hold up. He only does American projects when they're filmed in New Zealand. And so I'm like, oh, they must be in New Zealand. And they are. And it's very cheap to film in New Zealand. New Zealand has changed a lot because they used to ban Power Rangers because it was too violent. But then they let Hercules and Xena build in. Of course, Xena killed people, but not that much. But now they allow things like horror movies and stuff like that to be made. And in fact, this whole X trilogy of a movie has all been filmed over there. And so basically this movie is about a group of young people who's filming a porno. And boy, there is lots of nudity and sex in this movie. I was not expecting it. And I'm like, oh, wait, hold up. Is Jenna literally about to shed her Disney image? Like, literally shed it? Somewhat. She just goes down to her underwear and stuff. But like, yeah, that's about it. And you don't see her like clickety clacking at all. And so that's good because a lot of time when these Disney stars try to shed their Disney image, it don't work out so well. And the aftermath leaves them either embarrassed or shameful or not too many like projects after that. But yeah. So, like, Mia Goth is in this, and I have no idea who she was, but she's married to Shia LaBeouf, and they've been together since 2012, which, good luck to her with that. I hope he's doing better. I've heard some bad things about that dude. Like, I'm not talking about, like, the meltdowns or the drug abuse. I'm talking about with Sia and Twigs, I think her name is, the allegations against him, which nobody seemed to care about post the Me Too movement and stuff. Like literally, nobody has investigated that or like done anything about that. And like, so hopefully she's okay with him. I know they were gonna divorce at one point, but then they had a child and decided to reconcile. Maybe he's doing better. Hopefully. Maybe she tamed him. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? And so, like, she is the star of this trilogy. She is the final girl. Even though she plays different characters, she plays two in this movie. And because, like, I know she plays Maxine. But then as I'm looking at the old lady Pearl, I'm just kind of like, it kind of looks like her. Is it? It is. Why did she play both characters? Heck if I know. But she plays them completely differently. And even though I haven't saw the Pearl prequel yet, which it should technically be in my Paramount Plus, but it's not because apparently it's a Showtime movie. And I didn't sign up for the bundle of Showtime and Paramount Plus, so I'm unable to watch it, which is really stupid. But anyway, from the clips I saw, because like when you watch this movie, it's a bizarre slasher movie, and it leaves you very confused. But when you watch the prequel movie, it will make a whole lot more sense now. And even though I never seen the prequel, I saw clips from this one YouTuber called Horror History, where he does a complete history of the Pearl background. And it's like, oh, that makes a whole lot more sense now and stuff. So you really have to watch the prequel to truly understand this movie. But pretty much in this movie, basically it's just, like I said, a porno crew, and they want to make a porno. So they go out to the countryside in Texas where they rent out a farmhouse from this old couple. And the old couple, man, that old man scared the crap out of me. I normally don't get scared in slasher or horror movies or anticipate like, oh no, something bad is going to happen. But the moment you first see him on screen and he puts that double barrel in that one dude's face, what was that dude's face? Was it character? Was it Jackson? No, Jackson's the black dude. Wayne. When he put the double barrel rifle in Wayne's face, boy, you knew he wasn't messing around. So when he said stay out this house and don't come near my wife, he wasn't joking. So when he started creeping around and started offing people, you really felt that crap, And so, like, they rent the home from him. And so it's Jackson, the black dude, played by Kid Cudi, Cudi or something like that. I'm surprised. For a rapper, he did a pretty good job, like, acting. Which, I don't like people in the music business trying to act. But he did a pretty good job for what was given to him and stuff. And he's also an executive producer. Brittany Snow, I recognize her from those singing movies she did. What was those things called? I forget. But I remember her from them singing movies. And I'm surprised she's not the final girl in this because she plays Bobby-Lynne, which is one of the main porn stars. And I'm surprised she's not the final girl and Mia Goth is, because when it comes to Mia Goth's character, You don't know much about her. Like all these characters are one noted. They don't really have no character development in them. And Mia Goth's character Maxine probably has the one of the least character developments in the entire movie because you really don't know much about her other than she's dating Wayne. She likes to smoke and she's also a porn star. But like when it comes to that Bobby-Lynne, who is also a porn star, but who I assume was the main porn star because it starts off with her. And like, because Brittany Snow is actually a really famous person who's been in a lot of stuff. Pitch Perfect, that's it. But she was also in the soap, and she's also been in all kind of stuff. So I assumed she was gonna be the final girl. But then if it wasn't her, I assumed it was gonna be Jenna Ortega because she was coming off of that Disney Channel show. She was trying to share that image, and stuff like that, and I don't know which came first, this or Scream 5, but she's the new it girl of Hollywood right now. So I assume, okay, maybe she'll be like the final girl in their thing. But no, it was like Mia's character, which was really odd. And so, so it's like, okay, so it's Wayne. And the actor who plays him is actually a New Zealand actor, Martin Henderson, I believe his name is. And it's funny because like he sounds like Matthew McConaughey. And he has so much charisma to him. And so he is dating Maxine. And he is like, the producer of this porn. And he wants to be super huge and famous. And he thinks this porn is going to be like the next big thing that's going to make them all famous. Maxine is a star in this movie, but we don't realize this interesting twist that comes towards the end. By the way, this is a good movie. It's just a really odd and bizarre movie, but it's set up in a really cool way. Like you really feel the vibes in this movie. You really feel like it's back in like 78, or 79, whatever year it was. You really feel like these people really come from like the 70s/80s and stuff. The way they talk, the way they act, the way they dress. Because like Brittany Snow, I didn't even recognize her in this movie because of how she looks like Marilyn Monroe and how different she acts. Everybody plays like a character type, character acting, whatever you call it. Like they really feel like they're completely different people. Except for Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega is just acting like Jenna Ortega, just wearing 70 clothes. But like the scenes with like Mia and like the lake and the alligator and then the panoramic view from like the overhead shot, like you really feel like you're with her there. You feel like you're at camp or something like that. And that alligator coming up closer to her, you really feel scared because you really assume that alligator is gonna get her while she's naked and like the lake and everything. And then there's the creepy eeriness with like the old couple. And it's just like this movie has a really interesting vibe to it that you can just feel like resonating from like the screen. So, but the only thing that's really confusing is just the overall ending of the movie. And I'll get to that a little bit later. So then you have Jackson, who's the black dude, who's kind of like that '80s black dude with a big afro, like a Shaft type person, and like his girlfriend Bobby-Lynne, and then there's RJ, who is the camera dude, and there's his girlfriend Lorraine, played by Jenna Ortega. The Bobby-Lynne, she's just like the bubbly type girl who just wants to be like this big star. You have Jackson, who's just a smooth black dude. You have RJ, who's like the nerdy dude who really wants to be famous. And then you just have Lorraine, who they call Choir Mouse because of how quiet she is and how goody goody two shoes she is. But then this completely turns itself on its head when Lorraine wants to be in the porn. And so it's like, well, hold up. I thought you was a goody goody choir mouse girl, but she wants to be in the porno. And it's a complete shift of her character that comes out of like nowhere, which really upsets that of RJ and stuff, to the point where he's just ready to leave them stranded there. And so, like, this is when he sees the older lady, Pearl. And Pearl is a very odd, very bizarre, strange older woman. And she starts to flirt with him and tries to, like, get up on him and stuff like that. And he's not liking that to where she stabs him in the neck. I'm just like, wait, what? And the way she stabbed him over and over and over, and the blood is on, like, splashing on the car, splashing on the lights, and it's making that red glow and everything. It was eerie. And then, her husband helped cover the body up. And it's like, why is he doing that? So then, when Lorraine wakes up and wants to know where he's at, she sends, Wayne to look for it. Now, these people have no shame. They walk around in their underwear. They walk around braless. Jackson, when he opens the door to talk to the old man, he's just completely butt naked. Like, these people just don't care, And so, like, which really sets the mood for their character and lets you know just how they are. They have no shame. Let him get his skimpies off. Oh boy, that line. So, one by one, everybody just starts looking for these people, that are ending up missing. Or I should say RJ. And so, like, Lorraine, when she goes into the house, because before she goes into the house, I remember when I said the old man is creepy. When he leaves, and Maxine is like naked and swimming and she gets clothed, Pearl brings her over inside the house. I'm thinking, oh no, you ain't supposed to be in the house. That old man gonna get you. And so they, like, have some lemonade, and you start to see just how more creepy Lorraine is. Now, when I started watching this movie and RJ died, I'm thinking to myself, not knowing what this is about, and how she looks kind of like Maxine. I'm like, maybe this is a supernatural horror movie. Maybe if she kills somebody, then she takes on, like, their life force and their youth, because it's kind of like she was starting to look a little bit younger, but I guess the prosthetics wasn't really, like, doing it, and they kind of, like, changed a little bit throughout the movie. So I'm thinking maybe it's a movie like that where she's taking on their youth and stuff like that. But no, it's not. And so it's just a straight up, like, she just kills people slasher movie. And so I'm like, maybe it's like some type of, like, weird time travel type thing. Because why does she look like her so much? But no, it's not like that at all. So having her play both roles is very confusing, especially when you watch Pearl and she looks dead just like her. And it's just kind of like, it's so confusing. I don't know why they didn't go with a different actress, but I'll tell you this right here, right now. Mia Goth can act, boy. Like, when she plays Pearl, old Pearl, young Pearl, and Maxine, she acts completely different in each role to where you can't, like, if she didn't look the way she did, you would not know it's the same person. So she is a good actress. So Lorraine is in the house looking for, like, RJ. She goes down in the basement cellar and she gets locked in. There she sees the body of a dead man, naked and hung. So they killed him prior and everything. So she's freaking out. She grabs an axe. She tries to get out. And this is when I think Lorraine smashes her fingers with, like, a knife or something like that. And you can see the bentness and the cutness of her fingers while she's screaming and hollering, locked in the basement. Now, what's weird is that, like, the husband, Howard, he asked, like, Pearl, is she the one? Like, the one what? And, like, what is going on? This is why I thought it might have been like a youth transfer movie or something like that. But it's not. And so, at some point in time, everybody just starts, like, looking, like Wayne looks for them and he gets stabbed in the eye with a pitchfork by Lorraine. And then she comes in, and the way she moves so slow with the pitchfork and she slowly plunges it into him, I'm just like, it's a weird, eerie vibe you get when she kills him and stuff. So now he's dead. And so, like, next is Jackson. And so Jackson, he goes out with, like, the old man and he just gets shot off screen and goes into, like, the lake, which probably the alligator probably got him at some point, probably. But they didn't show him actually getting shot, which I'm thinking to myself, they probably, well, since he's an executive producer, he probably didn't want an old white hillbilly man shooting a black man. So, this was filmed in 2021 and came out 2022. And there was a lot of Black Lives Movement protests going on. So he probably didn't want that in the movie. But if everybody else is getting killed on screen, he might as well, too and stuff. And so he's gone. So that's his Bobby-Lynne. And she's out there looking, and she's with Pearl, and Pearl is just calling her all kind of names and all this other crap. And, that really pisses her off. So she just pushes Bobby into the lake, and we see the alligator get her. And it's all like, finally, we got to see the alligator get somebody in the movie because they kept alluding to it. Now, it's not cool when people get attacked by alligators because this happens all the time in Florida. But in this movie, a fictional movie, when they kept alluding to the alligator getting somebody, you assume the alligator was going to get somebody, but it never does. So you're just waiting for it to happen, and it finally happened. And stuff. And last and not least is Maxine, who's sleeping in the bed, and all of a sudden Pearl just gets like naked and in the bed and starts like messing with her and stuff and just like assaulting her and stuff. And then she wakes up to see it is Pearl and not that of Wayne. So she freaks out and she goes to the house where she finds Lorraine. Now, what's really strange about Pearl is that when she killed RJ, she started dancing in the middle of the near the field and stuff like that, near the home, and it's just like weird because she's slow dancing and she's dancing and all this other crap. And it's like, what is wrong with Pearl? Like the husband said, there's something wrong with her. Well, then when she talks to her husband and he asks, is Bobby-Lynne, is she the run? And she's like, I don't like blondes. I'm like, what the heck does this mean? What is wrong with Pearl and everything? She is a true psycho and everything. So when Maxine frees Lorraine, this is when everything in the movie starts to not make no sense. Well, other than Pearl and the old couple. But Lorraine is all like, she should have never let her talk her into this. So I'm guessing she means Maxine. And talking about how she hates them all. And I'm all like, where did this come from? Because she act like she's friends with these people. She wanted to do the porno against that of RJ's wishes because he didn't want her to do it. And she basically cheated on him. So it's like, oh, okay. So Maxine, all them, the one who convinced her. And so, but then she's all like, I hate y'all. And then she just runs on out of there. And I'm just like, where is this odd twist coming from that was never presented in the movie prior? So this just comes out of nowhere. And so when she runs out the house, she is shot in the face by that of Howard. And then it's like splat in the face and stuff. So then he comes into the house. Now Pearl at this point has already armed herself because she had a gun in her car. Or whoever van that was. And so Howard's talking and they're Howard's talking to Pearl, talking about how they're gonna get rid of the bodies and all this other crap. And I was just like, man, what is going on? What is the end game for this old couple? Like, why are they doing it? And what does the one mean, right? So when he comes in, Lorraine has a spasm because that's what happens after you die. It happens for months and everything after you die. That freaks him out to where he has a heart attack. And Pearl, like, help me. He's having like a heart attack. I'm like, dude, y'all just murdered their entire friends and tried to murder her. Why is she going to help you? So Pearl tries to shoot, but her gun doesn't have no bullets in it for some reason. So Pearl picks up, not Pearl, but Lorraine, no, Maxine picks up her gun and has no bullets in it. So Pearl picks up the rifle and the recoil from it like knocks her out like the house, and then she hits the ground and breaks her hip. So as she's walking past like Pearl's like, my hip. And then she keeps talking about how you're not gonna make it in life, you're such a whore, you're such a floozy. And this is what gets more confusing. Maxine tells her, I'm gonna be the greatest star that ever lived. And I'm just like, well, where did this come from? Because I assume Bobby-Lynne was the main star of the movie. like porno wise and stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, Maxine has aspirations to be like the greatest there is. Why wasn't that present throughout the entire movie? And so after that, she hops in the truck and then she runs over Pearl's head and smashes it and everything and drives off while doing coke and everything. And then what's crazy is like, so this happened 24 hours before the sheriff shows in. So 24 hours later, the sheriff's there and the TV is still on. And there's like this pastor dude just like preaching to the choir and everything. And he's talking about how his daughter left him to pursue a life of wickedness. And his daughter is Maxine. Crazy twist I did not see coming. And so, like, this is, like I said before, a very interesting slasher movie. Now, when you watch Pearl, things make a lot more sense. Pearl is a very disturbed young girl in like 1917. She wants to be famous, but she lives at a farm with her adoptive mother and father. She takes care of the father. He's very sick. The mother is really mean. She meets Howard, she marries him, she miscarriages. He goes off into like the war, and it's turned out she just never wanted to be with him. She just used him to get off that farm. Anyways, she talks to like, her sister-in-law, and she auditions for like this like thing because she wants to be like a dancer and famous and all of that. But they said like she's not that good. Now in her mind, she hallucinates a lot. She also cheated on Howard. Anyway, she ends up killing a bunch of people, getting rid of the bodies, and Howard helps her dispose of the bodies because he just loves her to death and don't want nothing bad to happen to her. And so the thing with her is that like she just wants to leave that farm life in Texas and be a big star. When things don't go her way, she gets like really upset and everything because her dreams are dashed. Why Howard and her never left the farm, who knows? I guess because the house is owned by them, inherited by her and stuff. But she could have left at any point in time because from 1917 to 1978 they stay together and stuff. And that's over like 60 something years. They could have been left that thing, but she's so mentally disturbed in the head. She gets horny, freaky, and starts wanting to kill people and stuff. When she's jealous of other people, she wants to kill them and stuff. She is a truly disturbed, psychotic person, which makes like for the perfect like slasher killer. Now there is the sequel trilogy of Maxine. And I'm first thinking, what the heck is this movie gonna be about? Because it hasn't came out yet. They're still making it. Once again, Mia Goth is in there playing Maxine. And all we know is that she wants to be a big famous star. Well, I'm thinking to myself, well, since she's the survivor of a massacre and everything, the police are probably going to be wondering if she's the one who killed everybody. And lo and behold, the cast list reveals a lot of detectives and private eyes. So they're probably going to assume she is the killer. But will Maxine turn out to be a real killer? Because somebody has to be. This is a slasher trilogy. They just can't like leave that part out of like the last movie. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what's really going to happen? That wasn't that spooky. Alright, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.